Welcome to Chronic Curiosity, where real people have real conversations, driven by curiosity to discuss this life in hopefully an intriguing way. Social media and the internets have woven their way into our lives and psyche, so we'd like to slow it down and be genuine and enjoy this foreign thing called conversation. Heck, most of the time, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. We may highlight things our guests have going on, or it may just be us, Toni, Cass, and myself. Often our conversations can swing from one topic to the next, relationships to conspiracies, mental health to ancient civilizations, politics to aliens. But if you're curious enough, they can all connect. The one thing we'll certainly like to do is to connect with you, the listener, by discussing things that you can connect with and discussing things that make you curious enough that you didn't think you could connect with. So we hope you enjoy your time with us and appreciate the time you're spending with us, because we understand that that's one thing you can spend but never make more. In addition, if you do enjoy our show, we hope you could take a minute to show your support. Following and liking our channel on whatever platform you're listening to is greatly appreciated, and it doesn't cost you anything except the calories to, clickety-click. And remember, share it with a friend. We love growing this network and hearing from everybody. We also have a website that's linked in the description, chronic-curiosity.com. That's a store where you can pick up some fun, curious merchandise, not to mention some of the most comfortable and curious t-shirts ever, as well as a donate button if you just want to help us and support the show. We appreciate your ears and interaction. Thank you once again. Welcome to Chronic Curiosity. Open mind required. Raw human interaction. Inevitable. And here we go. Real quick intro, everybody. We had considered doing a September 11th kind of themed episode for this one, seeing as it will come out just a couple days after the 20th anniversary of September 11th, 2001. But we decided against that, and it's mostly just another random episode with Toni and I discussing some things. But we do, as an intro to this one, play a song that Toni has written the lyrics for, and then I put a guitar piece to it. And so it's us doing that and then getting into our normal ridiculousness. But this is a song called 13 Folds, in honor of the many service men and women that have given their lives for this country.
Few birds deep on a Friday night, I saw my reflection through the smoky byline. TV in the corner, evening news, 'cause we're fighting men, nothing to lose. In a local boy's face, so it fills up the screen. Oh, it's our own quarterback, now a dead Marine. Shot down in a place with a name I can't see, left behind a wife with a kid on the way. He gave his life for people he never knew. Braving the proud, men that refused. They were clothed in colors too strong to run. Flag by fire, scarred by sun. Oh, he fought and he died with his brothers as they bled. Oh, no, I know flag with the Oh, we fought for this country at 21 years old and died for this nation. Turned 13 folds. Green grass, horse-drawn on a garden motion, out on the cemetery, granite wide ocean. I see your sons and husbands never coming back. I saw the quarterback's widow weeping in her black. And the preacher bowed his head and before we all adjourned said, from dust we all came into dust we shall return. Oh, the bugle was played and then not a sound. The flag was presented. Oh, he's laid in the ground. He gave his life for people he never knew. They were clothed in colors too strong to run. Flag scarlet by sun. Oh, he fought and he died with his brothers as they played. Blue and the white, no flag with its red. Oh, he fought for this country at 21 years old and died for this nation. Turned 13 folds.
She's all right though. Yeah, you did say when I bought this single malt Scotch whiskey.
Single malt demon.
It's not that bad. It's not. What didn't you like about it?
Everything and then some.
Everything and then some. Really?
Yeah, it was bad. It was like a cat shit in my mouth.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's aggressive.
it is.
I don't think it's like quite
It's
like
factual.
that. I don't. So
Scottish cat.
So saying that it's factual means
Pretty much nothing at this point in
No.
time.
I was going to say means that you know what a cat shitting in your mouth tastes
No,
like.
I actually do not. Thank God.
I don't think it's not. It's it's no.
I just don't enjoy scotch down in my belly.
Scotch.
Scotch.
I feel like we need a little more of those types of movies. A little bit of Will Ferrell, a little bit of Superbad.
A little bit more Super Troopers.
Oh yes, once mustache-eyes.
How you feeling, Mac?
Hope you boys like Mexico. Yeah. No, it's not the greatest, but I don't know. We'll see. I just opened it, the old Glenlivet 12. We'll see what it tastes like. I'll set it off to the side and see what it tastes like once it gets some. I don't know if scotches are supposed to get better when they're oxygenated. Is that a word? I don't know. I feel like we need Josh here to school us.
Yeah, oxygenated would be a word.
I make up a lot of them.
It's all right. That thing's not going to get better until it's empty and you pour it down the drain.
No, that's false. I feel like I need Josh on this. Well, I talked to Josh Snyder semi recently, and you told me he went down a bourbon rabbit hole, and
Yeah, I have 2 bottles for him,
he said
actually.
he did. He was like, yeah, I kind of did.
I bet he's probably, I don't know how many bottles, but knowing Josh, he's probably like 40 or 50 bottles deep now.
Yeah, but he's probably only drank like a quarter of them at most.
Maybe.
He's just like, has them all lined
I feel
up.
like he has a spreadsheet categorized with all his tasting notes and
I agree with
categorically ranking them.
Yeah, he did give me some help though, so that's I appreciate his help. That's what matters.
He's a talented dude.
He is. Yeah, I called him about the event for Andy
Yeah.
that I'm helping out with. So he gave me some tips and pointers.
Better be participating.
Me?
Yeah,
No.
you. What do you mean no?
No.
Bro, you better
no,
get
no.
your ass out there with me participate.
No, I did my participation last weekend.
The bad
Well,
mother
recently.
rucker.
Oh, that was so terrible.
I thought you said it was only terrible up until mile 10.
No, all of it was mostly, well, most of it was terrible. And I told, actually, Dusty said he's going to bring Austin.
Champ. Bro,
He's going to bring Champ. He's going to bring Champ.
I heard Champ wasn't doing much better than you either, is what Dusty said.
No, he did much better than me.
I said he looked like he was hurting.
He might have been hurting, but he wasn't hurting like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said they're going to come back on soon. I told him, I said, well, I need this list. Because I told you, like, he's like,
Yeah.
I have a list of things that bones to pick with the podcast. I said, well,
Gears to grind.
yeah. I said, come on and grind those gears. But I think he's going to bring Champ on. That should be a good time.
If he comes on, he needs to do a little stand-up bit. So he was talking about a stand-up bit that he had. And I feel like he'd be pretty embarrassed, but he's coming on. He needs to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I told him, I said, absolutely. I said, let me know. Let me know when you guys want to come on. I said, it'd be great. And I can tell you how much I hated your bullshit. Well, so we did this like star ruck course. For people that know rucking, whatever, but it's basically like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
And you go to different places. There's designated things you have to find in like a city setting.
Waypoints or whatever.
Waypoints, yeah. So you have to there was 12 different things. You have to figure out where they are. And then you have to ruck there with as a male over 150 pounds. I was supposed to have 20 pounds, but of course I had more than that. I had like 35. So that puts me at like 265 total weight. And I just showed up because I was like, I just want to, show up for Dustin and his, the Wayne County Ruck Club. And there was a bunch of people. It was really cool. There was a bunch of people there. But Austin was there, obviously, who I know I've rucked with a handful of times. And Chase, who I've rucked with a couple times. But I was like, I had to pick a team because I didn't bring a teammate because I just I'm just showing up to support you guys. And then I ended up picking the wrong team. And I realized that about a mile in.
You sure that team didn't pick the wrong participant?
No, I picked them. It was my fault. Yeah, it was my fault. I was like, well, Austin, I looked at Andy Poulton was there with him and his sister. And I was like, well, his sister looks pretty fit. And I know Andy, he's training for a 100-miler. I'm like, well,
You don't want any part of that.
I don't want any part of that. But apparently Austin has been keeping pretty steady.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been rucking with D, so D cracks the whip.
Yeah. But this winter, when I've gone with them, me and Austin usually trade places for last.
I got you.
Because he's a bigger boy. He's got shorter legs, That's not the case. And about a mile in, I literally told those guys, because Chase he's about my height, but he's got these long legs and he's a skinnier fellow.
Old daddy long leg himself.
Yeah, and he was getting it. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I chose the wrong fucking team. We were a mile in. I'm like, this is going to be a bad day. And I held my own until about mile 6. I was like, definitely the wrong team. Mile 8, I thought about quitting. But I was like, I thought like, cause we were toe to toe with the leaders. Cause like you'd send in the picture where your waypoint was, and they'd be like, yeah. And then it was like every once in a while you get a little update that like,
you missed one.
it was like, well, these 3 teams are like, you guys are neck and neck. Like,
I got you.
So we were there was another team that kind of chose the same route that we did.
Yeah.
And they were getting it. And we were like, we would pass them and they'd pass us. And then we get updates that
can you sabotage them at all? Is that allowed?
We thought about kicking their asses. We thought about it.
I didn't mean physical violence. Something a little bit more clever than that. But, you know, if you
I'm not that clever.
Resort to outright gratuitous violence, I'm fine with that as well.
No, they were nice guys too. Because we worked with those guys too, but it was
nice guys finish last sometimes.
Well,
not
I felt like I finished last. Yeah. But it was like, now looking back on it, I realized like we were getting it. And then by mile 8, I was like, well, like, because you have to take a picture with everybody at the waypoint.
Yeah.
With your team
and submit it
to win. Yeah. And I was like, well, I can't quit because like,
yeah, you'll screw your team because if you're
my
not
team.
present.
I found out later I could have quit and the other guys could have kept going, or I would have done it at mile 8. By mile 10, I was in real trouble. Like everything like started, like my legs started cramping. Like I had some blisters and different things, whatever.
Uncle Rabdo is paying you a visit.
I was concerned about that.
You did text me about that.
Yeah, afterwards, like, yeah, but mile 10, I was like, I'm in trouble. But we were at a point where I was like, I can't like, it's either I just sit down and wait for somebody to come get me or I get back. Naturally, I'm just going to keep going. At like it was probably like 11. I had to like do a little like quick little shuffle to get across the road because there were some cars coming and everything just started cramping. And I was like, oh God, oh no. Like, because once you cramp, you ain't getting it back. So like I stretched and stretched and then I just started like hobbling my way through the rest of it. And it was fairly brutal. And I still hurt.
So what did you learn from all this, Fred?
Not to fucking ruck like that or prepare yourself. Either way. It was brutal.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up.
I would have
been disappointed in you.
No, well, Dusty was always maybe not Dusty necessarily. People are talk shit like, oh, you could probably do it, like this, that, whatever. I said, no, I know I can do it. But that's why I don't sign up for it, because I know I will put myself through the abuse of it. Yeah. Even if I'm not physically prepared for it. I will still do it.
But did you die?
I did not, but it is almost an entire week later, and I did something to my foot that I still can't walk properly. And I went to work out today, and even rowing hurt my foot. So it's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's frustrating when you can't physically do something because you injured yourself being stupid. And that's exactly what I did.
Was it stupid or was it for a good cause though? I actually don't even know what it was for. I was just asking.
It was just for fun.
Yeah,
so
there was no like fundraiser of sorts or
no.
Okay,
I don't think so. It was just for fun.
Was it honoring anything? Was it honoring a battle of
no
veterans?
No, just the Wayne County Rec Club.
Oh, well.
So what to me it was honoring something. It was honoring, just supporting Dusty and his endeavors.
Dusty and Champ.
Yeah, that was literally the only reason I went.
Yeah.
Because normally I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, well, I did not go.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I was up at Put in Bay.
Sounds like a terrible time.
It was not. It was fantastic.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, I got that loud and clear. My fat alter ego came out up there. It was
Your
awesome.
fat alter ego?
Yeah.
I don't know if I know the fat
I didn't know that I
alter
had
ego.
one. I didn't even know that I had one prior to there. So,
Did you eat a bunch of junk food or what?
so it was pretty late, and I made it to Frosty's, and I ordered 3 pizzas by myself,
Oh.
and I did not know how expensive these pizzas were going to be. Yeah, I spent $110 on 3 pizzas.
Whoa.
Woe is right. So it was like 90.
What'd you have on those pizzas? Like caviar?
No. It was caviar and cocaine. No, just
Cocaine. Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay.
I was thinking of that song. Caviar and cocaine. No, I'm just kidding. So no, I think
Psilocybin mushrooms?
no, it would have been
Pepperoni?
fantastic. No, it was let me think here. There was a pesto pizza with some tomatoes and stuff. There was a Philly cheesesteak pizza, and there was something that had a white sauce with arugula and chicken, and I don't know. They were fantastic.
Sounds good.
But I couldn't remember where our place was, and so I stumbled around the streets with 3 pizzas till I found a park bench in the rain and just smashed them. I didn't eat them all, and then stumbled around some more until I found our house. Like sitting in the rain eating these pizzas, I was so happy. Like so incredibly happy.
I was thinking, I've never been so happy and so sad all at the same time.
Bro, there was not an ounce of sadness in me. Like I was
That's a lot for
famished.
How big were these pizzas?
So they weren't full size. I would say they were like
They were what, $40 pizzas?
well, I tipped them like $20 or something. I don't know. It was one of those end of the night, throw it in a jar.
Yeah, jeez.
Cash thing. I think it was $95 maybe. $95, $94 for these pizzas.
That's a lot for a pizza, though.
I
guess it is putting back.
Yeah, I know
And-
it was a lot. It was a lot.
As long as they were tasty, I guess.
Oh, they were beyond tasty. I probably would have paid 3 times that amount.
When you're hungry, you get hungry, you know?
This is true.
Oh, man.
But no, it was a good time.
That's good. You go up to all the guys and
Yeah.
doing the company thing.
Yeah, they were up there Friday, and I went up Saturday, so
That's good.
hadn't seen them for a while, so it was a fun time.
That's good. I figured. I know I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was messaging you to see if I if I have to worry about rhabdo.
Yeah, I was
do I have to worry about this right now or for the next 24 hours?
No, I was like, yeah, you should probably if your urine looks like coffee and you absolutely can't move, then you should probably be worried now. Like you need rehydration.
Yeah. Well, I drank.
No, like IV rehydration.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's what, I had thought about halfway through. I was like, oh god. Well, I think it was probably right around mile 11. I had emptied my Camelback.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly decent sized Camelback. It's at least 3/4 of a gallon.
Bro, what do you mean? We had plenty of training at the Railbird. You should have been fully prepared for going without water. Like you're practically a camel after that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing. But I hit mile 11 and I was like, I'm like, oh no, I'm sucking air. Like, oh no, this is about to get bad. And then I came home and drank another gallon. And
Yeah.
because we all met afterwards. And it was we finished third.
Okay.
We probably would have been real close to first. So we did 12 to 13 miles. The winners, the 2 people that we were real close to being tied with the whole time up until literally mile 10, finished in 3 hours and 5 minutes. So we finished in 3 hours and 35 minutes. So we did 10 miles in 3 hours and 2 miles in 30 minutes. So it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But I felt internally fine, but just my shit didn't work. And it was I need to get home and I need to get sodium and, get some amino acids, electrolytes. I need to start pouring everything into my body or this is going to get real ugly real quick. So that's when I messaged you. It was hey, what do I need to look for? I've never had rhabdo, but if I need to look for it, where am I at? And I just started pounding water and
Yeah.
all of the things.
Yeah, take a pee and see what your urine looks like.
Yeah, it was fairly yellow
Yeah.
until like about 24 hours later. And I had probably drank like 3 gallons of water within 24 hours. So,
Yeah.
but I'm alive. My legs work and my muscles apparently didn't break down and spew a bunch of, it's not toxins, whatever it is,
Yeah. I
into
mean,
my bloodstream.
breaking down protein and
Yeah.
kidneys aren't really set up to do that. Muscle. So,
Yeah. I did have a beer or two in the mix. So it's like, because like I was sitting there, like people were like ordering food and I'm like, we just need to go home. People are like ordering food and like having beers. And I'm like,
is it Muddies or where were we at?
yeah, we were Muddies.
Yeah.
I was like, I would love to do this. I said, but like even sitting there, like I like finally just sitting down and resting, I was in so much pain. It wasn't even like, if you've never put yourself through enough physical stress to where you even sit and relax or even like lay down and you're still in pain, like that's a whole different place to be in. Because most people, like, you go through physical stress or exercise or you're really pushing yourself and it's, ooh, I need to take a break. You sit down, ooh, yeah. But if you've never put yourself through enough physical duress that even when you sit down and take a break, that your body is still screaming at you, that's a whole different place. I'm sure you've been there. I can't, doing 30 Murphs in 30 days. I'm sure you've been there. But like, if you've never been there you should try it. It's not fun, but to understand like what some people go through.
It is kind of fun though to a point because you're not going to die. Usually. and then you kind of make fun of yourself, like going to the self-appraisal. You're like, I didn't know I was this big of a bitch.
Yeah.
And then it gets better, and then you just do it again, and you get a little bit tougher every single time.
Yeah.
Or you die.
I probably should have stopped at 8 miles.
No.
I would have felt better.
No way.
Yeah. Well, I still can't walk right. Like, yeah, but I could have, a couple days later, I could have done it again if I didn't push it too hard. So that's, I understand the validity behind the whole, kind of the David Goggins people are crazy. Because if you slowly build up, not even slowly, moderately build up, you can push yourself to quite a bit. But if you push yourself beyond limits and you start breaking bones and tearing ligaments, what are you really gaining? You know what I mean? Like,
sounds like you defeated your clone that day.
Oh, I did. Yeah, but that's still kicking my ass. It's all right though. It's getting a little better. But it's a bummer to, hurt no matter whatever you do. Maybe I'm just getting old.
Doesn't hurt so good.
No, it hurts bad.
Come on, baby, make it hurt so good.
Sometimes love don't feel like it should.
Hurts so good.
Yeah. But Dusty did text me out of the blue recently and said that I think I'm starting to convince him. He said he's starting to see the validity in the simulation theory.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He texted you and said, I feel like we're in a simulation right now.
Yeah.
Is it because of
Not
how
so much.
ridiculous everything is?
Well,
right
he said
now?
it's like me. He's like, you see these like everything that's going on. He's like, I feel like we're just living deja vu. Like,
I guess deja vu from what? Like there had to be another time that this happened. So like a time of antiquation or like, I don't know if that's a word, but I threw that out there for you.
Antiquation. Yeah, I think it was just the idea of the way people are reacting in the news stories, and I'm trying to remember exactly what
he said.
Yeah, his phraseology, which is definitely not a word. You see some of this stuff play out in the news, and it's like deja vu from old sci-fi movies.
Ah,
That's what it was. And I was like, yeah, it's fucking cheesy ones. Like, but here we are. And he always used to tease me about aliens and whatnot. But now I think like we got another believer. Something's weird, Tone. I feel like your avatar's just looking at me now, being like, "You're figuring it out, huh? You son of a bitch."
Dude, last Friday, my avatar checked out in the middle of seeing a patient.
What?
I'm not even lying. I was mid conversation with this patient, and I was explaining the negative feedback loop for testosterone, and all of a sudden, my entire brain was blank. There was not a single thought in my head, and I was like literally mid conversation. We were having it, like you and me are having this conversation right now, and all of a sudden I was and it was, dude, it was like that. It was gone. And I had to say, hold on a second. Mid conversation, I said, hold on a second. And dude, I couldn't formulate words. Going back to that thought, I don't know what went on.
Connection interrupted.
Oh, it was like, good morning, Sunday morning. Like, just gone, bro. Like, straight gone. It was I was laughing pretty hard about it. And the guy was laughing pretty hard about it too, my patient. I had just got done talking about low estrogen causing brain fog too. And I was like, I think my estrogen must have just bottomed out.
I don't know, man. I think there's something to it. I think there might be I think there's a lot more that goes on with this universe than we think there is. Maybe that's just me trying to explain away my dumbness, but my brain farts. But
yeah, I think we just have it too damn easy.
I'll agree with that.
And not everyone, because I'm not trying to say that's universal.
Yeah.
But
just in general.
I mean, the fact that we can even focus on some of the things that we focus on.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts, man. Like, our forefathers used to, what were they doing? They were working their asses off. They were tilling the soil. They were cutting down trees to manually make houses.
Yeah.
They were
not even our forefathers. People around the world right now.
Yeah, exactly. And we're getting all butthurt about all kinds of crazy first world problems.
Right. Or my 12-year Glenlivet and how bad it tastes.
Bro, it's bad. It's real bad.
I actually
I'd pull a plow before I'd drink that again.
Your taste buds are different than mine then, because
my taste buds are right.
Yeah, but you like putting yourself through physical brutality. That's okay.
My taste buds are still right.
That's fine. It's not that bad, I don't think. Well, you're not a huge fan of scotch, so I get it. I mean, you said that before.
I did.
Did you try?
I've had a couple scotches that were decent though.
Yeah, I don't think that one was that bad. We'll see what it does when it oxygenates.
It was like an uppercut to the taint.
No, not nearly that bad. Not that I've ever experienced that.
It's not good. I'm just kidding.
But that perspective thing, though, you talk about. Son of a bitch. Okay. There's this thing in here. I re-listened. I don't know exactly what spurred me to do it, but I re-listened to the Dan Leach episode.
Yeah.
And I realized that was almost a year ago.
Okay.
That was episode 18.
Which we need to get him back on as he's had a child.
Yeah. But man, it was almost like going back not even back in time. It was like going to a different place in time.
If I could turn back time. 80 songs the entire time. That could be a 90s, I don't know.
See, you got some music in you tonight, Tom.
A little bit. I'm getting the 13 volts here. Trying to warm myself up.
Yeah. But it was just neat because like looking like because it's been over a year now.
Okay.
We've been doing this because Sam, who I've heard, which doesn't surprise me. I was about to say like I was surprised at how much good feedback we've got from the same episode, but it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, dude, everybody knows Sam.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but people, I guess I was surprised to hear from some people that I know don't know him,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Wow, cool episode."
Oh, dude, awesome. Dude,
yeah.
I've always liked Sam, man, just because he's like Worcester's most lovable asshole. Like,
Yeah, and he just, boy, it's just those people that he's just honest.
yeah, that's like, dude, he tells it how it is, man. And like,
Yeah, and it's
like I
not
said,
like
I
to be an
don't-
asshole.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that's just he might rub some people the wrong way, but I love it because you know what you're getting with him, man.
Yeah,
You're like,
where
oh,
he stands.
I don't have to guess. Like he's gonna tell me. He's probably gonna shit talk a little bit because he likes you, or because he doesn't like you, which he's gonna tell you.
Right, but he's gonna say it with a smile on his face. Like that's he's gonna do it. Like I can appreciate that. Like in a good-hearted way. Like sure, he might talk some shit. He might say some things that you might not like, but I don't think there's a malicious bone in his body.
I mean, he's gonna say some honest things, which I can appreciate the hell out of.
Yeah, and there might be some things you disagree with, which what do we become if we can't disagree? You know what I mean? Like
2020
yeah,
meet 2021.
yeah. Well, that's probably before 2020, but yeah, like it was neat to kind of see the not even see because it was here, but like the evolution of a year ago, and then but just I guess Dan's episode was so long ago. It was like someone mentioned it recently, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like I kind of forget like what we talked about. Like it was so long ago because most of this like episodes are like because I've listened to or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, like I remember that one. But it was just really cool, and then just to hear the impact and the reach that was slowly getting out there. It's weird.
Yeah, no, it is weird to hear people say I listen to your podcast, and I'm like, that you listen to the podcast? Like, oh yeah, I listened to a couple episodes and they were good, or like I listened to all of them, which is very weird. And they're like, I loved it, or they're like, it's genuinely like well produced. Like my stepdad said that the other day. He's like, oh, I saw this thing on Facebook, and he's like, I listened to your podcast, and he goes, it was actually really good. I was like, we're used to backhanded compliments. Thank you.
Yeah. I actually, now you mentioned that while I was before and after I put myself through all that abuse, I had multiple people bring up the podcast to me. Like before we started, someone just came right, never met him before. It was like, oh, I really enjoy the podcast. I'm like,
you listen to it?
Thanks. Like, it's just like surprising. And then I had talked to somebody afterwards when I could barely like internally I was feeling fine, but I could barely move my body, that they were talking about the podcast and how they're trying to get caught up on it. And like, it was like, well, I honestly, I don't know what to say because that's
it's
just so awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, just
like,
thank you.
So cool.
So what we're trying to say is if you listen to the podcast, we greatly appreciate your time, which you can never get back, which is a larger investment than even money. So thank you for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I have no explanation for how much it means, especially when you enjoy it. It's so cool.
Well, we certainly have some very cool things on the horizon.
I hope so.
I've talked with one of these facilitators of cool things, and he is extremely excited to be more of a part of it.
Yeah, I think we have a couple people that are in that channel that it seems, I don't know, we'll see. I have dealt with enough disappointment in my life that I usually am on the more pessimistic side of things.
It'll happen.
I know you are more of an optimistic than I am.
No, I'm not more of an optimist.
I think so.
No, I've just failed way more times than you have, I feel like, in different arenas.
Yeah. I will say this. Not that I haven't. I failed plenty of times. So like, I know, but I've been failed too.
That makes sense.
Plenty of times. So where my outlook is, until something is happening, I never regard it as it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just like
not that I don't think it will happen,
yeah,
but it's one of those things. It's kind of I don't count my chickens before they hatch. I hope they hatch, and I believe they will hatch, but I don't necessarily say, yeah, I'm having chickens.
So I'm like a bullet that ricochets. Eventually, I'm going to find my target.
I guess that's not a bad description.
Nope.
Where'd you get that from?
I just thought it up.
No, stop it.
God's honest truth.
That's a fairly good description of you, Tone.
Yeah.
Just this random chunk of metal, just ping, 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 ping.
Just continually moving until I find my target.
Everything until I find it.
I just had a conversation with someone the other day. Not that, but they said they were like, "Oh, you're so smart," and I'm like, and I laughed for about 30 seconds,
Right.
and I'm like, "No, I'm not that smart." I said, "I'm just too dumb.
Deterministic.
I'm too dumb to give up." That's what it is.
There's something to be said for that too. Not necessarily too dumb, or too either too stubborn or too this or that to just quit. There's an amount of determination that I feel like, regardless of what it is, should be rewarded if you have that kind of determination.
That could go in the wrong direction, but I understand.
No,
what you're
it
saying.
could. You know what I mean? But like, if you're willing to be that persistent, then extenuating circumstances aside, you kind of deserve.
I was going to say Biden's run for president a few times.
No,
look at
he's been ran. He's been ran for president. Let's not pretend
shoot.
Are we going to go there?
No.
Okay.
We're not. Well, we can if you want. I really don't care. I need another beer though, please. If you don't mind, grab me one. We can certainly go there. We can.
I mean, we'll go there.
Thank you.
Yeah. At the beginning of this, I know we often come off as, or I'll speak for myself. I feel like that will often come off as very conservative. Maybe not conservative, very right-wing, Republican, whatever you want to call it.
These long-haired, bearded conservatives.
but I think it's, there's so much complexity, but I think there's a lot that, it's not necessarily, some people, they will identify with, Democrats or Republicans or left or right or conservative or liberal or whatever it is. And there's people that will, maybe put it better this way. Probably not, but I'll try. We often look at people with identifiers and tags, and we paint them with this certain brush because that's what we see, because of their identifiers. Kind of, putting it real simple, like, oh, guns,
Republican,
conservative, whatever. Waving their American flag, like, not even that, or social justice issues, Democrat.
I was going to say P sitting down, but
IP sitting down.
I know, that's why I said that.
Fuck you. But I mean, like, it's we see, like, depending on what you identify with, or what you see from the other, quote unquote side of the aisle, we often put ourselves in a category because we're putting somebody else into a category.
That's interesting.
And I think that's what I struggle with, is because I see so many different topics and views that I can relate to somebody that disagrees. I can relate with somebody on point A and completely disagree with somebody on point B, the same person.
Yeah.
And I think that is a lot of what we're lacking is, well, if you disagree with me on abortion, that means we can't agree on freedom of speech. Like, or we can't agree on gun control or vaccinations or
Name it. Yeah.
whatever it is.
Which sounds like the Dan episode of dualities.
Yeah. And I think maybe that's why it just really hit me today when I was re-listening to that too. It was like, man, it almost feels constructed. It almost feels like we're part of this experiment to what can we do to make these people hate each other and disagree with each other? And
shaking the ants up, bro.
Yes. I don't remember what episode that was, but yes. And I wonder how much of it is a complete facade and construction that we think everybody disagrees with us, or we think everybody hates this or that or whatever it is, because that's what we're seeing. And we fail to just stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Ice is back with a brand new edition. And look and stop like facilitating and throwing wood on the fire. And group together and do something good for humanity. Instead of fighting each other, actually fighting a fight that's worth it.
I mean, what fight do you think that is? You brought it up.
I know. It's weird. I never thought I'd say this.
We're going to cue up the Rage Against the Machine.
In a sense, yeah, kind of. Getting involved. And having discussions with people and having congenial, I don't think is the word that I want. Like having discussions with people around us, because I think we'll realize as we've done this here, and I would love to have more and more people on with bigger opposing views on things. I would absolutely love to do that and discuss things. And even if we walk away and still disagree on a topic, I think there's so much more that we can find to agree on. But that right there, being able to have these conversations and agreeing to disagree, but still walking away and valuing each other as a human being, I think that's what we need.
So when do you think the time for diplomacy is over and the time for action presents itself?
It's tough because it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Particularly.
I mean, don't you ever just get tired of talk? Like, or just, we're going to talk it out and we're going to try and relate with people. And
yeah, I get what you're saying. And I think there is a threshold that will be met at some point or another. But I think if we can make each other realize, maybe that's what it is, if we can connect as much as possible with other people and realize that in this, I do kind of hold this fairly strongly, that the people around us, regardless of our beliefs, they're not the enemy. The enemy is the one stirring things up. The enemy is the one pushing things upon other people. Because I think we've gotten to a place where all Rage Against the Machine, there's a machine that, for whatever reason, is constructing this war amongst everybody and instigating it. I don't know what good it does it, but it's doing it. And that's my fear. And that's my, why do we need so much government to do all these things?
Sounded awfully libertarian, Fred.
I know. Was it probably 6 months ago? I was like, oh my God, I think I'm libertarian. Oh my God, guys, I'm coming out of the libertarian closet. But even then, like I see some of the stuff that they believe in. I'm like, I don't know about that either. But it's just, I think for the longest, I think what it is even when I was younger, I've realized that our critical thinking skills, and I don't know if it's the schools or whatever it is, media, government, whatever, I have no idea. But I think our critical thinking skills have been hampered, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, or originally it started out intentionally or unintentionally and just kind of morphed and, just kind of happened what it is. But people are losing the ability to think critically and look for themselves at actual statistics and actual facts, and also adding in anecdotal evidence. Obviously, you don't want to go based off of completely anecdotal evidence, but at some point, like, it's your life.
Yeah,
there are some times where you need some anecdotal evidence.
How are you going to think critically, though, when convergency is rewarded and divergency it's penalized, it's ostracized? Like, and that, I don't want to say that exclusively starts in schools, but we've had this conversation before. Like, you're not rewarded for thinking outside the box. You're silenced. You're canceled. You heard that on the Rogan podcast with Weinstein and talking about orthodontics today.
Oh, did you listen to that one?
Yeah, I did listen to some of that.
It was an interesting.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it was pretty interesting.
It went in a much different direction than I expected it to.
I mean, you're penalized if you follow science and look at what other countries have effectively been treating COVID with and try and use it here. You're a quack. It's horse paste.
Horse paste. Yeah. I think I am slowly getting to the point, just personally, of that regardless of what happens, I want, and I think it goes back to all the way one of our very beginning episodes. That I said, like, once I realized that the universe doesn't give a shit about me, that gave me the license and ability to give a shit about myself, in a sense, and to do something with it. Once I realized that, like, if we're just some cells of some biological creatures flying through the universe, whatever, in the middle of this vast,
like
infinitely
skyrocket in flight, afternoon delight.
Yeah. But it gives you the ability to go, you know what? I'm only here for a short amount of time. I'm only
dust in the wind.
Exactly. Dust in the wind. Then
only for a moment as time passes by.
I'm going to forget what I'm going to say.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. But it's the more and more I realize how finite my experience here on Earth is, regardless of what came before or what comes after. The more I realize that I'm only going to be here for, 60, 70, 80, 90 years. That's pushing it, I'm sure. Then it makes whatever that means in the real scope of time and space then why not I do something that I can believe in? Like it really kind of makes me understand how, like, this might not be the right term, but I'm gonna use it anyways, like I usually do. Like religious zealots are, we've talked about Afghanistan and the Taliban. Like,
don't stop believing.
Yeah, you're getting your music, but I can feel it. But it really makes you realize how people can just go, you know what? Like, I'm here for a short amount of time. If space and time is infinity, 80 years is absolutely nothing. I look at that and go, okay, I don't know what's before or after me, but I'm going to do something that's worth it now. So, like, you know what? I can make a bunch of money, or I could go do this, and I could try to be rich, or money's fun. I like ski-doos. I like all the
GT3s.
Yeah, I like fancy things. I've never owned a Porsche, but I'd like to. But at the same time, like, would I rather own a Porsche and sell my soul to the quote unquote devil, whatever that means, in my own mind?
He wears a suit and tie.
Yeah. That's a good song. Or can I go, you know what? I can take a stand for myself, regardless of what that might mean, and say, you know what? No, this is something I believe in. I'm not crossing this line. I'll figure out a way to survive. And if I die in some backwoods country in a cabin because I'm trying to hunt animals and live on my own, then so be it. But at least
Country boy will survive.
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
Dugan.
That's kind of like, you know what? Like, it just makes you realize that, like, you're only here for a short time. So,
not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time.
Yeah, that's right. It's a party. You got to fight
for your right
to party.
This is the music episode. I love it. I had so many more that I was trying not to interrupt you and say.
Yeah, that's all. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it just gets frustrating sometimes. Like,
it does.
Yeah, just the overall lack of common sense, and it's almost like, I don't know if it's an unintended consequence or if it's actually intended, like the amount of tribalism that's being either like purposely pushed or inadvertently pushed.
Right.
And it's very difficult for me to
push it.
Push it real good.
If you're going to do it to me, I'm going to do it to you.
Give it right back to me. Give it back to me, baby. It's all good. Oh, shoot. No, just the overall like lack of common sense, man. It's just difficult. It's difficult to be around that. It's difficult to deal with that. And I don't know. I guess I was raised to really try and pursue facts and science. When did that become? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think that's a big confusion recently. Is science is used as this term for quote unquote trusting the experts of science instead of
but you have
trusting that, like,
the science itself. You have
the
to
science
ask
itself,
who
right?
The experts are, and how did they get the title of expert?
Right, and the experts aren't science. Science is the scientific method that we learned in middle school. It's here's your hypothesis, here's the experiment, here's your control group. What's the conclusion? It's not, the conclusion isn't, or the hypothesis isn't, well, the experts told me this and they are quote unquote scientists.
You mean the hypothesis isn't the conclusion?
Right. Yes, exactly. And that's what we've lost.
A rather large step there.
we've forgotten how to use critical thinking and to apply that to our daily lives. That's what I struggle with.
Yeah. It's not a good place to be.
But what are we going to do? What can we do when everyone loses? Well, not everyone.
Iron your tropical shirts.
I'm telling you.
I'm joking. I don't want that to happen.
That cult isn't sounding too bad anymore, is it?
Your words, not mine.
It's not an actual cult. It was just a group of people that like to wear Hawaiian shirts and help each other out.
Not the PI.
Or like Office Space.
Oh, jeez.
Remember Friday? It's Hawaiian Shirt Day. So if you want to wear a Hawaiian shirt, you can go ahead and do that.
Have you seen my stapler?
Hey, Peterman, check out this chick on Channel 9. Can you at least pretend that we can hear each other through the walls?
It was not good. That sounded pretty terrible because I was drunk.
I've only sang one song.
I was with about 6 girls.
Oh, jeez. I think I've only ever sang real karaoke once. Just once.
I sang it way more than once. Actually, in Medina, I sang a Josh Turner song. I know they had a couple of chicks come up to me and gave me some requests for a second song.
I bet. Was it the one something about locking the doors and turning the lights down low? Was that the one?
No, I don't think it was that one. Another time we were in, we better lock the door and turn the lights down low.
That's the one.
And put some music on that's soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand.
I feel like that'd be like considered like a total rapist song these days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The hashtag me too.
Hashtag toxic masculinity.
No, there was another time we were at a bar in Wadsworth, and the little DJ came up to me.
DJ.
Yeah, she was a female. She was a female. She was a tiny little chick.
Oh.
And
I meant she was like a midget or something.
No, not that.
That's probably the wrong word.
Not tiny dancer, midget.
Tiny. Hold me close, tiny dancer.
Midget. No. Tiny dancer, midget, bro. Come on.
Are we just throwing the words out there now?
Mm-hmm. No, so she
never go for it.
She came up to us and she was trying to get our table. I think it was Saul and Tyler and me, and we were at a booth, and she was like, "Hey, you guys need to sing karaoke." And they're like, "Yeah, we're not singing karaoke." And I'm like, "I'll sing karaoke."
Even Tyler? I feel like
Tyler.
He wasn't quite drunk enough.
No,
at that
dude,
point.
Tyler's like scared to get up and sing. He actually has this like a decent voice, but he does not like that. I mean, he got called out at an Indians game one time in front of the whole place on the big screen to answer a question, and he like freaked out.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "If you don't answer it, I'll answer it." And he was like, No, I got it," and like ended up answering it, even though they gave him the answer to the question. But he doesn't do that whole public thing very well.
I can see that. I've invited him to come on a couple of times, and he's like, "Well, I don't know, man." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like all the shit you talk and everything else?" Like he's the guy that's helped us build this table.
Yeah,
he's not interested in coming on.
We'll get him on, but no. So she was like, "Hey, you guys need to sing a song," and they're like, "No, we're not going to sing a song." And I'm like, "I'll sing a song.
We'll sing a song.
I'll sing a song." And I was like, "You know what? I'll let you pick the song."
Oh, that's bold move.
I was like, "I'll let you. Let's see how the strategy works out for me."
Yeah.
And so I'll let you pick the song. And she was like, she named some Josh Turner song, and it was that "Why Don't We Just Dance" song. And she kind of chuckled, and I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Do you even know that song?" And I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. And so, I ripped it. She was like, "Oh my!" The whole place was like, "Oh my god!" And it worked out in my favor that I happen to know it.
Yeah, when you know the song, it sometimes works out. We did that. What was it? It was I think it was in Myrtle Beach. I was not convinced, but I got hornswoggled into doing
Hornswoggled?
yeah, doing some karaoke, and naturally I did a song that I felt like I could do. But
was it Meatloaf?
no, Meatloaf, God no, he's got a great voice. No, it was a Pearl Jam song. He matches. You know. You just shove
Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, a little Eddie Vedder. You throw like a dry biscuit in your mouth and try to say roll over. Like it just kind of works out.
Deeper Isbell.
Yeah.
Mouth full of marbles and biscuits.
Yeah, but it was I felt comfortable with it, and I met somebody, the wife, obviously because I'm up there, and someone like she like heard multiple people like, wow, that's actually pretty good, because like there was this dude that like kept going up that was
he singing Spice Girls?
No, he shouldn't have been in public, let alone singing karaoke. Like his crowd working was the fact that he was so drunk and ridiculous and terrible that it was like it was more like a comedic act.
Which dude you who can work the hell out of a crowd in karaoke?
No,
Sam Carmody.
Oh, I could totally see it. That doesn't surprise.
Leroy's.
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah,
he is a character. We may have to ask him back on sooner rather than later.
Okay.
I've had some people contact me that have questions for him.
Okay.
And
well, we could get him on for a Q&A session.
Yeah. So they're like, hey, like they want, I think somebody wanted to ask him wanted to tag him on Facebook to ask him questions. And I was like, I think he's probably smarter than most of us and doesn't have a Facebook. But yeah, I got a lot of good feedback. So I think like we're going to have to have him on sooner rather than later. Same thing with, I think, like I said, I don't like to discuss things before they actually happen, but I think Jason Sheftel is going to join us again sooner rather than later. Because we were interested in having him back on at some point, but with all the recent events, I've been talking to him, and it sounds like he might come back on to give some interesting perspectives on some things. So we'll see. There's a lot out there, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to sing us any karaoke though. We could ask him.
That's what we should do from here on out. Every guest has to sing 30 seconds of a karaoke clip. We would have no guests.
Yeah, right. There is something about that I think we often forget, and then I think the average person often forgets like what it takes. And I don't mean to like pretend like what we're doing right here is like something special, because I don't think it is. I think anybody has the capacity to talk bullshit for a couple hours.
Capacity or compacity?
Love you, Mike Manjack. Yeah, you come back on, you son of a bitch. He's got a fight coming up, it sounds like.
Saw that.
Yeah. I have no details on that whatsoever. But
does he need a Chronic Cat sponsorship?
Yeah, we need to have him come
half cat,
too.
half man.
Half cat. Yeah. I remember what I was going to say now. Oh yeah. So I don't think like it's the comfort level of like doing karaoke or doing a podcast or, public speaking. It's really not. You think everybody thinks it's really hard because
it's scary rock.
It's scary.
So scary rock.
Yeah. until you realize that everybody watching you, for the most part, unless you're on Twitter, for the most part is like, wow, like I'd never be able to do that. But until you actually do it, you know, like it just takes a little bit to go up there and do it. And people can appreciate that you're doing that.
Or they laugh at you because you just make a fool out of yourself, but you're still doing it.
Yeah, but some people are just dick bit. Like some people are just fucking dicks. Like I'm not worried about pleasing those people because you can't please those people. They're just going to be jerks. Like if someone's getting up there to sing karaoke and they're going to boo them, get the fuck out of here. Like if you're that good, then get up and do it yourself. But those aren't the people that are getting up and do it themselves. Like, or like you go to a comedy show, like the hecklers at a comedy show.
Yeah.
Guess what? Those people, they're not fucking funny because they're miserable.
Or they'd probably be on stage themselves.
Right. So anybody that's heckling you or booing you or giving you a hard time, fuck them. Because they're just trying to, it's like the bully. They're just trying to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
It's sad. But I do understand why it's so anxiety, like, filling to get up in front of a crowd like that. Because it's like, I get it. But you just have to get desensitized to it, I think.
Just rip out 52 podcast episodes.
Yeah, or a concert or a little karaoke show. And sometimes you need a little liquid courage. You do it, and then you get done, you go, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Man, we did it completely sober.
Yeah, because I wanted to be able to press the right strings. Now you want to get too carried away.
30 seconds of nerves, and the rest was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it wasn't bad, but I was not prepared. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
So what do you mean? We practiced. We were pretty prepared. We rocked it.
Oh, yeah.
We rocked the cast box.
Rock the lock the cash box?
Mm-hmm,
Is that is what it is? Lock
the cash box. I'll keep going all night. I'll walk 5,000 miles.
All night long. Walk 5,000 miles. And walk another 5,000 more.
500 more.
Is it 500?
I don't know what it is.
Well, you can't make musical references if you don't
I feel
get the
like
lyrics
I would
right.
walk 5,000 miles and I would walk 500 more.
I think it's 5. It's either 500 or 5,000, but he sticks with the same way all the way through.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's. I'm gonna be 500 miles. It's 500.
Ah, crap. Sounds like I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would walk 500 miles and 500 more.
Well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. Yep. I would roll. I feel like that's
So
Google.
I'm changing it to 5,000 miles from here on out.
500 miles.
5,000.
I would walk 500 miles and I'll walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000. Why did I say it roll? That's totally
Is this your theme song in the Ruck event?
It felt like 1,000 miles, dude. I could tell you, it was one of those things where I was what we taught. I just had on the oh no, did I just stop that? Record. I was doing some Wim Hof breathing those last 2 miles, dude. It was like,
Well, like some Chain Stokes breathing.
It was so brutal, like because it was like my muscles started cramping, and like it wasn't even like because I've dealt with cramping where like you wake up and you get a real hard leg day, you wake up in the middle of the night and your hamstring like starts cramping, you're like, oh shit, oh straighten that, yep, that hurts. it was just walking. Like,
how about when it cramps during sex?
and you're like, oh, straighten the leg
She's
out.
like,
You're
oh, I'm that good. No, it's a cramp.
No, it's a cramp. My hamstring. It's one of the biggest muscles in your body. When it cramps up, it fucks you up. Yeah, but it was like my calves were like, even as I was walking, it was just twitching. Like it was just cramp. Like, it was like the whole like
Fibrillation.
Yeah, I don't know what that. Yeah, sure. I don't know. But it was the whole, like the muscle was just like rippling, like involuntarily. And I'm like,
welcome to the gun show. Wim Hofen.
because I was like, I don't know. And then we had one more thing, one more, like on our way back, we had one more stop to take a picture with. And it ended up like we had to walk like another quarter mile out of the way. Like, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I had stopped and I was like, it was brutal. It was real brutal. Hurt a lot.
Did they encourage you, or what did they do along the way? They
left me in the dust.
Dude, I would have smacked the shit out of you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, they left. No, Austin. So Austin stayed with me most of the time. Chase he was gone. Chase wanted to win. I felt bad because I feel like he could have. Like,
So both you guys should have just dropped out so Chase could have won.
Austin probably. He probably could have stuck with him. They probably would have. They would have gotten real close without me. So I felt bad for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think about it, and
They could have rejected you as their partner.
yeah, or they could have told. So that was the thing where I was like, once I said, like, once I hit mile 8, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, like, I'll just bail so these guys can fucking,
Yeah,
so they can win. But then, like, they said, like, if you don't have a picture with all of your teammates at every spot, then like you get disqualified. Well, afterwards, I found out, like, we asked Dusty, and it was like, oh yeah, no, like if somebody bails, like they can stop, but they can't finish on their own. They can't.
Yeah, they're just done.
They're done. I'm like, and then Cass was like, well, did Austin know that? He was like, yeah, Austin knows that. I was like, well, fuck, like I would have totally bailed. Like when I was still moving along and we were still.
Bro, he said you were part of the team. You were part of the wolf pack. He didn't want to kick you out. It wasn't a one-man wolf pack.
Yeah. But I was like, I totally would have bailed.
It wasn't a one-man wolf pack.
Yeah, I don't know. I totally would have bailed so those guys could have won. So I felt bad. But at the same time, I was like, what the fuck, motherfuckers? Like, you can't finish without me. Why are you half a mile ahead of me? Like, it's not like I'm, slacking to slack. Shit was shutting down. It was not good. For a couple days, I couldn't move. It was pretty brutal. I'd never done something like that. Dusty was like, yeah, you just need to get used to it, this, that, whatever. I was like, that's great if your fucking muscles work. But they don't. Because I bet Chase was probably, with his ruck, like 180.
Yeah. So you said you had to be over 150?
Yeah. To 20 pounds. And I didn't realize how fast we were going to move.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Because I can like carry a lot of weight. I made the joke at one point, like with those guys during it, I was like, all right, well, that's fine. We're going to do a competition with squats. But you have to use, everyone has to use 400 pounds. You have to move 2,000 pounds, but you have to use a 400 to squat with. I'm like, like that's what they did to me. Like, yeah, I probably carried a little too much. I think I had probably like 35 to 40 pounds in my ruck, which was probably too much with water and everything else. But so that puts me at like 260, 265. And I don't have the longest legs ever. I'm doing 13 miles at a 15-minute mile.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out well. But that's what it is. It was fun. Besides the pain that I endured for the days later. It wasn't fun. I'm lying. It was fucking terrible. The idea was fun. It was the pace. But I think I'm still doing one with Dusty.
It was not a medium pace?
He had a medium pace. Turkey lurkey do and a turkey lurkey diddle. I wish turkey only cost a nickel.
Haven't heard much from him lately. Just movies.
Yeah, no, I heard he can ball though. I heard he's like a straight up. Who's the guy in White Men Can't Jump?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson,
The guy whose name you cannot remember ever.
Ever.
Yeah,
that's the same person we talked
I know.
about.
That dude behind you at the concert was like, Woody Harrelson. And you were like, thank you.
Yeah.
And he's so great in those zombie movies.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, because your boy is in them. In the first one, at
Bill
least.
Murray?
Yeah. They accidentally kill him.
Accidentally.
It's hilarious.
What zombie movies is that? Is that the Z Nation or?
No. It's not the Z Nation. I can't think of what it is, but it's hilarious.
I'm
It
not
is
familiar.
hilarious.
I am unfamiliar. Bill Murray zombie.
Zombieland?
The Dead Don't Die?
No, I don't think that's it.
And during the press for Isle of Dogs, Bill Murray and Tilda Swinton.
Type in Bill Murray.
In a zombie movie directed by. Looks like The Dead Don't Die.
No.
No?
Nope, I don't like that.
No. Zombieland?
There you go.
Bill Murray. Oh, maybe it was during The Dead Don't Die that they announced they're doing Zombieland.
No, Zombieland's older than 19. There's a second one. It's pretty funny, too. But he's not in it. There we go.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yo, it's
Zombieland.
fantastic.
Oh, Zombieland and Zombieland Double
Dude,
Tap.
yeah, Double
there's
Tap.
it's a newer one.
Yeah.
2019, huh?
It's fantastic, too.
Yeah,
I think Owen Wilson's in that one.
I've always
Driving a
liked Owen
monster
Wilson.
truck.
He's a goofy motherfucker, but he's fun.
Super goofy.
He's fun though.
He is fun.
With his crooked ass nose. I wonder. Do you know how he
Wait,
got that?
no, hold on a second. I think it's his brother.
Oh, it's not Owen Wilson.
No,
It's,
who's his brother?
I don't know. Whoever Owen Wilson's
So,
brother is.
yeah, I don't think it's him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
your
not him. Look up his brother.
The third one down. Owen Wilson brother. Luke Wilson.
There we go.
Oh, I
There we
like
go.
Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson
Yeah,
is an Idiocracy
and old school.
and Old School. Oh, I never realized that they were brothers.
For he's single and disease free.
Oh, I don't know who I like more now. I didn't realize that they were brothers.
Who's
If I had to
Andrew
choose
Wilson? Click on that dude.
He looks kind of like a hobo.
Is that my brother?
Andrew Wilson does look a little scrappy. Older brother of he's the oldest brother of Owen and Luke. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude's 57 years old, bro.
Yeah, he's older now. I like Luke. Yeah, Luke Wilson. Who was it? I was telling Craig about Idiocracy.
Yeah.
That he would really enjoy it. Well, he'd probably make him really angry because he could really relate to a lot of things that are happening right now. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I have not. I'll have to
yeah.
watch it.
You'll have to watch it.
He's in it?
I'm almost positive Luke Wilson is an Idiocracy. I spelled that wrong, but yeah, Luke Wilson.
Okay.
He's the main guy. Yeah, Idiocracy
I'll have
is.
to check it out.
It's an older. Was it 2006? Yeah, but it's exactly where we're at right now, except we aren't watering our plants with Gatorade. But we're getting there. It's getting real scary. People are getting real dumb.
On that note,
Cheers.
cheers.
Salute.
Salut.